Hello everyone, this is Maher and this is the second video and the second week of my amazing YouTube channel, and I have been assigned to select a winner of the Phlog photo walk. We went into Old Cairo to do a photo walk in basically ancient places. So I've been assigned to select a winner from the 8 submissions that we got. So yeah. The theme of the photo walk had a massive focus on storytelling through a set of photos, 3 to 4 photos basically. So this is going to be the kind of the heaviest criteria that I'm going to be basing my my guest selection on. And I want to clarify that at the end of the day, this is just my opinion and my perspective. And yeah, so if I give you any feedback that you do not like on these photos, just keep in mind, you don't have to accept any of it. It's just my perspective, my opinion. If you like something, take it. If you don't like it, you can discard it. I personally love getting my photos critiqued and getting feedback from different people. And sometimes I can catch myself getting defensive and frustrated. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about, or you whatever, you know. Just don't try to take this personally. Try to focus more on the critique or the feedback as separate from you. Now, the criteria are storytelling, so being able to invoke emotion and invoke imagination, creativity, because we were all walking in the same path. We were all basically going to the same exact places. So kind of taking the shots that are not right there, shots that are slightly more creative, shots that no one else saw. That also is what I'm looking for. And last but not least, technical excellence. So sharpness, focus, color balance, the photo manipulations, the exposure, all these things. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Our first submission here is from Ahmed. First of all, I love the portrait. It's a great portrait. I feel like these two photos kind of go well together, and these two also go well together. The photos kind of connect in a way. So, because like here you have these patterns, and then you have these shadows also right here. So that's kind of cool. And in these photos, nothing really stands out too much in these photos to me. They're nice photos. They're good street photography, but nothing stands out too much. I can tell he's posed. Maybe because I kind of subconsciously know that I saw the guy there and I know exactly where he's standing. Maybe in this portrait, if I had a little more environment, like kind of giving more context to what he's doing over here, that would be kind of nice. This one here, I like the idea. I don't like how it's kind of on a line, like there's a little piece peeking out here. It's not completely centered, but it's also not completely rule of thirds. It's kind of bugging me a little bit. There's a lot of some stuff here in the back that if I was being nitpicky, I would go in and remove it. But overall, great photos. Let's see the next submission. All right, for our next set, we have Ali. For this photo right here, I don't know where to look, if I'm being completely honest. This is really cool. This is also really cool. I've gotten this feedback before, and it's kill your darlings. And I sometimes see a lot of cool things in one place and I want to include them all, but doing so kind of distracts from a photo. And I guess I'm gonna give you the advice here, which is just kill your darlings. So know what we want to look at. Like, this is cool, but it's also distracting. And this is also cool, but like, yeah, it's just, there's too much going on. This photo is really cool. I like this one a lot right here. It's very creative. No one really saw that. Maybe a few people did, but this is a really nice moment and really good like street photography. This photo is cool. It has some storytelling. I like how it tells a story. There's there's something going on here, and like there's different emotions. I like the black and white, but overall I don't feel like the set kind of ties in together. Maybe these two photos a little bit, maybe this one, if I'm being imaginative, I can kind of come out with a story here, but as a set I think they could be more cohesive. All right, for our next one we got photos from Dua. I'm the one who put all the photos kind of together on one little paper to kind of see them all together. At first, when I was looking at each photo by itself, it was not that clear to me, the story, but I think here I could kind of see a story, kind of like where someone's working, and I can imagine this is where like they're moving up to where they live, and this is kind of where they live, and I could say, sure, this is kind of like around where they live. Like I can kind of start imagining the life of someone over there, and that kind of invokes a story, that kind of invokes emotion. A few comments about this photo. I would say like the colors are a little too vibrant, too saturated. I would say they're a little too punchy. Again, personal preference, but I feel like they could be a little distracting from the photo itself. If I'm able to kind of pull these shadows, that would have been cool. I would maybe take a second photo and do like a HDR kind of situation where you pull the shadows from one, or even try to pull the shadows from this one. I don't know how much data was in there, but it would be kind of nice to get a peek of what's going on here. Technical excellence wise, it could be improved. This photo right here, I really love this photo. This is a really nice photo. I like the leading lines. I like that there's just movement, there's action, there's kind of framing, their light is coming in. Like it's a nice photo. I really like this photo. This one as a photo by itself, it's not that powerful, but I really like it in terms of a set. These photos are from Hanya. First of all, this photo right here, this probably one of my favorite photos in the entire competition. I love how the birds are just kind of floating around. I love that there's the rule of thirds going on, and there's just balance. There's like you have space for them to look in. It's just a great photo. I like the edit. It's kind of dark, moody. It's not too overbearing. But yeah, just excellent photo overall. This photo right here, I think the sky is a little too overexposed, and that's a little distracting. The highlights are a little too out there, and your eye just naturally travels to the place with the most highlights or the brightest areas. So it's like I feel my eyes resisting every time I try to go in here. It just gets pulled back right in there. This photo is also cool as part of the set. Overall, it's a great set. The editing could be slightly distracting. This photo right here, absolute masterpiece. I love it. And let's move on to the next one. All right, now we have Hussein. This is also one of my favorite sets, if I'm being completely honest. This is pure personal preference because I love dark and moody photos. I've been told before that I need to make my photos brighter. If I'm channeling other people's advice, I would say make this just slightly more visible, because what happens is the brain kind of can auto adjust. So if this is a little bit brighter and this is a little bit brighter, our brain is gonna see it as just as dark. So what we can do is kind of pull more details in the shadows here, and then add a little more exposure here too. And that would make it still as punchy, contrasty, and dark and moody, but we would get to see a little bit more detail. Like I would even go as far as cropping this much out. This would be kind of a nice frame right here, but I like the photo overall. I don't like this. I don't know what's going on here. I feel like it's a little distracting. I would even experiment with removing this thing out. Give this some space to breathe, because this is kind of tight on there. I love the colors. I love the editing. Everything is sharp. Overall, pretty good set. All right, next one. Next submission is from, it's also another one from Hussein. Hussein had 2 submissions. I like this photo a lot. I think the highlights are a little too killed. I like the composition. I love what's going on over here. The guy is praying. It's perfectly framed, with frame within a frame within a frame. This is a really cool photo. I would even crop it out like this and keep it as a photo. Just overall great photo. This photo is very similar to this one, but the editing here is a little bit better. You can see kind of the sky here looks a little bit better. Here it looks a little bit washed off. And these two photos are kind of like the same photo. So I would say the first set is better than this one. But I really like this photo, great photo. So anyway, next submission is from Ruwaida. First of all, these are such great photos. I love how you always kind of split up things, like you kind of flatten the world in a really cool way. I love this photo. This is such a great photo. Both of these photos are just really cool. I would say though, they do not kind of go well as a set. Like this is a great photo and this is a great photo. I could kind of tell that you just got two cool photos and you're like, I guess that kind of works. But the photos are great. They're a little dark, but I kind of like that. I don't think it would have the same feel if they were a little brighter. And I really like how they look overall. Each one has a story on its own, like excellent storytelling each on their own, but I guess they're not going that well together. But I love the colors here. I love the blue and the kind of the yellow / orange like contrast over here. This is just so cool. This is just overall, I love the framing and the space and how like it's kind of like a little movie transition. It's like you get to see what's going on here and what's going on here, and it's just all one photo. It's just, I love that. It's really cool. All right, moving on to the next submission from Salma. All right, first thoughts on these photos. They're very cohesive, probably the most cohesive set of photos. There's definitely an architectural flavor in all of these. The coloring is very similar. I would maybe try to play around with the coloring a little bit. I feel like it's a little yellow washed, but that could be part of the style. I don't know if you did it on purpose or not, but it looks good. They match. It's just a nice set. And this next submission from also Salma. These photos are great. I like this one a lot. This one, I really like this one. It's a really cool photo. It's just, the composition is just great. I like the colors, the blue and the yellow and the tree coming in and the windows, and there's just a lot of cool things going on. But overall, as a set, I would not say they're connected in terms of a set. Like there is a theme of ceilings, but they're not a set that tells a story in a sense. Last but not least, we have Yusuf. And let's start with this portrait right here. I think it's a great portrait. I like the idea of it. I kind of love how you included this. This is just, it's just a very interesting portrait. I think the edit on it is a little bit aggressive. Like I could tell you went on with a little brush, maybe, I'm guessing, here, and like made him a little bit brighter, which is good, but it's popping a little too much. And he looks a little bit mustard yellow. Like the skin tones are a little bit off. It looks a little dead, but maybe that's what you were going for. I'm not too sure. This is a little too dark. I would crop it maybe like this even, or yeah, or give some space here, or maybe try to pull up more details here because I feel like this is a little too dark, but it's kind of cool. This one right here, I like this photo too, but I think the colors are a little too vibrant, especially the greens here is going on to the neon. The yellow is a little too aggressive also, so it's a little too bright. It's almost distracting every time I try to go anywhere in the photo. Like it just pulls back right in here, so it's a little bit, I would say kill the greens and the yellows just a little bit, especially these neon greens. This photo, that's probably the best photo ever because I am in it right here. This is me. This is definitely the best photo in this. Thank you for watching. This is the best photo. No, I'm kidding. So I like this photo. I like the composition. I like that there's a person in there. That doesn't matter that it's me because it gives a sense of scale. It's a really cool photo. I always love having a person in a massive place, because it always kind of gives you a sense of scale and how big that place is. Because if you remove me from here, you can't tell how massive these places are. Part of the beauty of these places is how big they are. So having a person in there lined up on a probably good rule of thirds. As a story, there's a story here. There's kind of there's a story in this portrait. This is probably the strongest picture. I could tell you're very proud of that one. It's a good photo. But as a set, it's not very cohesive. I don't see a story as much. That concludes all the submissions, and the winner is Dua. Dua has I think the best story in all of these photos, and I'm weighing very heavily on the story because that was kind of the purpose of the entire photo walk. Imagination inducive story. And it was hard to select through these photos because I was there, and I'm biased to what I'm seeing and what I wanted to see, but I tried my best to remove my bias and show the photos to a few people and see what they think also. And congrats, Dua, for winning. Phlog will be contacting you soon to give you more details about the prize. So congrats. And thanks for all of you guys who went on this photo walk with me. I had a blast. I learned a lot from a lot of you, and I'm sure there is comments or things that I missed. And if you think there's anything I missed or comments you have, feel free to leave them down in the comments down below. And if you disagree on something that I said, also let me know. I'm here to learn, and I'm here to try to help as much as I can. And yeah, I would love to hear your perspective. Also, let me know which set you think is the best and why. Thanks to Phlog for this amazing opportunity to do this photo walk and for sponsoring today's episode. It was a blast to go on this photo walk and see everyone's process. I will be releasing a video every week talking about all things photography and filmmaking. So yeah, stick around. If you want to see what kind of photos I got from that photo walk, go check out my Instagram at MaherZ_. Check out day 37, day 38, and day 39. I'm doing a post every day for a year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.